Hey guys, what is going on? This is Carnivore5 and today I have another video for you guys, and we are going to be talking about the creative player, where I think the best positions are to put him at, if he's even worth it. So let's go ahead and start talking about it first. If you guys want to look at the programs, you go to programs, go down to the creative player. Now you guys can see you can start grinding on any of these. First, let's kind of talk about how you even use your creative player. Alright, you go to my squad and then right here. Alright, so you go to the start tab, and this is how you add them. You can add any of them. You can start grinding on any of them. You guys can see I have the 70 overall closing pitcher one. I've been working a little bit on that, but other than that, I haven't really gotten too far with it. So, well, let's look at the creative player and the ones I recommend overall. So starting out, I honestly thought that closing pitcher was going to be the most valuable, but I'm going to honestly have to kind of give that edge to second base for a few reasons. For one, if you guys plan to do a lot of grinding or spend a little bit of money, or, you know, I'm just kind of assuming, like, if you're going to be playing the game a lot, you're going to get most of these immortals, alright? And the weakest immortal, I think, is Jackie Robinson. And not that he's a bad immortal. I mean, that's an amazing card. Don't get me wrong. You know, great vision, great contact, a little bit of pop, great speed. But for me, so far, power is everything in this game. Probably more so even than last year. So this is one card I could see myself skipping on and putting my cap at second. Alright, the only cap I think that, or the only player that I think could compete with your cap at second is Roberto Alomar. And yeah, he was pretty good last year, but I think your cap could be a little bit better than him. And let's look at some builds you can have for your cap. Now, it is a grind, so I definitely recommend start putting those players in there for conquest or versus the computer when you're grinding. So you definitely want to get started on that. Alright, so here's the three things you can do: speed focus, contact focus, and balanced focus. Now, honestly, they're all pretty good, and keep in mind you're going to be able to add equipment, but I think the most important thing with your creative player that they get more than anything else is the speed. You can always add power with the equipment. So if you really want to go all power, I mean, that's your preference. You could do balanced, and then you could add some more power. But I would try to add a little bit of speed. I would try to get at least 80 speed with your cap, you know. So really, it just depends what equipment you want to get for them. It is probably going to be somewhat expensive, and they're going to release new equipment down the road. But you guys can see, I think these are all pretty good. Now, if you just don't want to worry about, you know, buying the cleats for to add speed, you can just get this one at 95 speed and just focus, you know, all on power for the equipment, and you still have a pretty good player at second base. Another reason I think second base is important because defense up the middle seems to matter a lot this year. I don't know if it's totally random or if good fielding actually makes a difference. I'm not sure, but you know, if you do the speed one or even contact one, they can get good fielding. And again, even if you do the balance one, you can be able to add equipment. I don't really think there's a difference between these three. I think you guys just want to look at the equipment, go to the marketplace, see what's cheaper, see what's more cost effective for you guys, and just start from there. But I think overall the best position player to choose is second base, and I think overall the second one, a second best creative player to choose is closing pitcher. There's a lot of limitations of closing pitcher though, and I'll talk about that. So if we look at the 82 overall, you guys can see he still only has 3 pitches and we can't choose them, which is very unfortunate. But basically at this point, you're going to get yourself another Chapman, probably a little bit better than Chapman. So if you guys, you know, don't want to have to get Chapman, or if you want to have 2 Chapmans in your bullpen, personally I made him lefty to throw lefty. You can make him throw righty if you want. That's your guys' call. I just feel like there aren't as many good lefties as there is righties, so that's why I think closing pitcher is the second most important. However, it's to be determined if you get a 4th and 5th pitch. Maybe you do at 70%, 90%, 100%. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know. And I think all 3 of these final ones are good because, again, you can modify that with equipment. I honestly might think break is the best one though, because you get 99 break, and you guys can see right now that the 70 overall, he's already throwing 96 miles an hour for me, and when you get to 82 overall, he's already throwing 97. So, you know, he's going to be able to hit 98. I'm assuming he's already going to be able to hit 98, 99, probably even without the velocity one. So that's why I would recommend break, or even balance ain't too bad because they get good walks per 9. But again, the per 9s probably don't matter as much because you can modify them with the equipment. It's a matter really if you want, you know, velocity, control, or break. And I don't think control, You know, I have to test it a little bit more, but I still don't think control does a whole lot in the game, and I think the pitching's still a little bit random. So I probably wouldn't do balanced. I'd probably go velocity or break, and probably leaning towards break a little bit. Now the next one I recommend is go back to position players. I don't recommend starter because from what I see they only give you 4 pitches: 4-seam slider, changeup, curveball. And I think there's going to be enough good starters this year, so I don't really recommend doing starter. I mean, I don't think it's bad because you can give them a weird delivery, but yeah, those aren't the best pitches that I like to see. But some other positions that I recommend are catcher and shortstop. Now, these are both interesting. I think second base is still way more valuable than both of these, and I think we're going to get a lot of good catchers. We already have that, you know, that immortal Mike Piazza you guys have seen. You guys have already seen the Molina. There's the Jorge Posada. You know, the Joe Torre, which I don't think's not going to be an in-game catcher card, but right now it's not too bad. But you guys can see here. Here's what you can do with your cap at catcher. Now, another reason I don't think it's the most valuable is because the speed isn't crazy, which is realistic. But you'll have to add a lot of equipment if you want like 70, 80 speed. Otherwise, I don't know. This isn't a bad idea to have a switch hitter, but again, if you're going to be grinding a lot or playing a lot, I recommend just doing the Piazza or getting Jorge Posada or something. I think you're going to get more value if you put him at second base, especially defensively. But catcher isn't a bad way to go. And the last one I recommend is shortstop, but again, I still think that, you know, Immortal Cal Ripken would be better than what this cap would be at this final stage. And you can see there's 4 final decisions here, and I think they're all good. It's really preference, what you guys want to do, and what equipment you guys want to add. But again, I think speed. You want to get speed in fielding though if you're playing shortstop, and shortstop it's kind of hard to do that with a cap. You guys can see, like if you want to go all power, you guys can see the fielding starts to go down a lot. Now if I go to contact, again the fielding's only at 76, balance is only at 76. The only way you're going to get good fielding is if you do the fielding one. But at that point, you're going to have to add a lot of equipment to get their power and contact up to where Ripken is. So that's why I don't think the cap at short is going to end up being better than Ripken. But I could see you guys, like, if you just want to totally pass on a Ripken Immortal and put your cap at shortstop, I could totally understand that. Those are the 2 other positions. The other positions I don't really recommend. If you guys have any other ideas, let me know. But outfield, there's so many outfielders. I don't really recommend it. And I don't know, I just don't think it's a smart move to go for any position in the outfield. And then for third base wouldn't be terrible, but again, it's very hard to get a lot of good speed at third base unless you go the contact route, which, you know, isn't bad, but then, you know, you have to think the chipper is going to be the best third baseman in the game, so even if you max out your cap, it's not going to match what chipper can do. So I think it's better just to honestly grind that chipper. But that's totally your guys' call. And then first base, I don't recommend at all. There's going to be so many good first basemen, and it's very limited at first base. You guys can see you only have 2 final decisions: bat focus and balanced, and neither of them get good speed. So definitely don't recommend that. Again, I highly recommend second base and closer, and then after that, I would say catcher and shortstop. So also a few more tips. If you guys are doing the pitchers, let me give you some tips here for grinding. Alright, you see the 40 innings pitched that requires right now to finish this mission. That doesn't mean you can bring your pitcher in and pitch 2/3 of an inning here, 1/3 of an inning there. No, you have to bring him in and pitch a full inning or it does not count. I learned the hard way because my first time going through, it required me to get 20 innings pitched, and I ended up having 30 innings pitched before I completed it. I figured out you have to pitch the whole inning to get it. So, I mean, these other missions are easy. Single game stats and beat, you know, Aroldis Chapman. Those are easy. I imagine they might get a little bit more difficult, but just wanted to give you guys that tip. And to keep in mind, it doesn't look like the closer gets a 4th or 5th pitch. It isn't confirmed. And even if it is confirmed, you can't choose the pitches. So say they give him a curveball and then maybe a 2-seam or something. This is basically going to be like another Rivero or Chapman that you can kind of get for free. So that's why I recommend it. Starter, same way, you know. If you're gonna grind the starter, make sure you're pitching complete innings. But starter, I imagine, is a little bit easier because you can just throw them the whole game. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Let me know what you guys are doing with your cap, what you guys think the best position is to go for your cap, and hope you guys have a good day. This is Car Number 5 signing out. Peace.